Oh,
What's
yeah,
up?
I believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're still getting set up, guys. I just got home
Lisa's
not too long
here.
ago.
What's
Met
up,
the mad rush.
everybody? Who do we see?
Yeah, all of us are just today. We're just like, oh my gosh, it's a long day.
Long day.
Like our relaxation point is like getting on the camera.
We're just getting settled.
All right, time to
Thank you,
chill.
This is
People are trickling in.
grown up life, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
doing
people are
everything
just
today.
trickling in. We only have about a handful of people right now. Let's
Oh,
see.
I'm gonna turn off my volume.
Okay. Cool.
I had the. I'll tell you guys real quick. I had the girl come over that was like the potential employee girl come over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Went good.
Oh, sweet.
You met the parents and everything?
Met the parents. Yeah,
Possible employee.
yeah. It was good. So
Yeah.
Oh man.
Awesome.
So are they gonna-
homeschoolers for life, man. That's what I say.
I have
they-
homeschool friends like AJ.
Did you bring that up? Did you say, hey, I was homeschooled? too?
Yeah, we were talking all about homeschooling.
That's awesome.
Oh,
man.
that's great.
So yeah, no, it was good. The only thing was she's like, so she's got a snake and she's got a leopard gecko, and she seems real responsible and whatever. But she's like, yeah, I'm afraid of bugs, and I'm like, well, you're gonna have to get over that. I said,
Yeah.
That's
you're
your main
you're
job.
gonna be touching a lot of crickets, and she's like,
How does
okay.
Did you show her the bug room?
No, I didn't want, because that room's that's like the one that like would turn everybody off because it just smells so bad. Like a room full of
Yeah,
crickets,
I
and
know.
it's like 85 degrees in there.
Yep.
So that's the one
uh,
I don't bring people into unless like they're definitely okay with it. That's the one that will scare people off, if anything will.
But the bug room.
After you get her in, and she's working, you're like, hey, by the way, you want to check out the bug room? Here's the bugs where you got to get
here.
all the.
All right, stick your hand in
insects.
this bin full of roaches. Just get all up in there.
Oh, wow. A lot of people coming
lot of
in. What's
people
going
pouring
on,
in.
everybody?
Guys.
Roby's here.
We
The
got
robes.
Laguna,
The robes.
Tessa,
Robies, Red Runners. Good to see everybody.
Insomnia's here,
We'll just give people
A1,
a couple minutes.
Yeah, a bunch of people hanging.
Bryce, Robbie.
Oh,
Robies.
cheers from Korea. I like
Oh,
it.
Korea's here. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Korea, the whole
on the bar.
country's here.
Oh,
nice.
yes.
You guys are representing Korea. Yeah.
Anthony and Jess.
Yeah, bunch of people.
Jess,
Oh,
what's up, guys?
Scotty boy.
1 second, let me.
Scott, buy it.
Scotty McHottie.
Don't
Scotty
tell
Scotty.
Scott to buy it.
Buy it, Scott.
Cool, guys. Good to see you. Let me just do our quick intro and then we can start chatting. Okay.
Yeah.
We are, anytime I just have a counting, it's always counting the episode. So even when we do lives, it counts as an episode. So this is episode 26 of the Gecko Pod. We are a podcast for the gecko community where we talk about the hobby and business of breeding. And the lives are cool because we can just hang out with you guys in the chats. We have Brian, our third host for the lives, and always thankful for you, Brian. And
Of course, guys. Thank
we're
you.
gonna take you questions live. We do have some questions loaded up from Instagram and whatnot, and yeah, we'll just be chatting and having a good time and see where it takes us. See where the fates will take us today. How you guys doing, AJ, Brian? You guys doing well?
Good, man. Yeah.
Busy.
Everything is
Busy
well.
gecko day for sure.
I
Hectic
just
day
feel
for
like
all three of
when
us.
you're approaching springtime, it's just everything gets busy, especially like daily life, geckos, pairings, eggs, everything's just
Mhm.
busy. So
Is Chad in here? I almost lost his the super stripe tried to dive bomb into my dive bomb into my trash can today.
Oh, no. So you had to dig it out?
If anyone's had to dig a gecko out of a 55-gallon garbage can full of paper towel and egg crate, you know my pain. It was horrible.
So I
Just
had
like
something
each
actually
piece coming out.
I have something similar that happened yesterday in my closet because I took out one of my geckos to fire up and it jumped. And
no.
usually they're slow enough that they're not gonna like run, but this one went underneath. Like I have those plastic shelving racks that have like my supplies.
Yeah.
And it went underneath there. I had to take apart the whole rack to get to it.
I know.
I had one gecko
Yep.
from my shipment today jump and go under a rack and drop its tail under there when I was trying to fish it out.
Oh gosh.
Hate that.
Only one though. It's not too bad.
Yeah. So I wanted to congratulate you guys on 25, now 26 episodes. The 25th episode was
Thank
great.
you.
Man.
Thanks, man.
I think that episode that I watched, that last one, man, was really, really good. Like it was just so good to hear both of you, like watching Harry grow from this and AJ grow from this, like both of you guys grown in different ways because like Harry's gained so much knowledge and AJ, you still also gain knowledge in other things, you know, and it was nice to hear somebody who's been doing this for so long talk about how you now are so more entwined with the community and how it's affected you in this hobby. So it's like, I find that to be very important. And man, you guys are doing a great job on this podcast. I love the Gecko Pod and a lot of people, everybody here that's on here loves it. I mean, they wouldn't be here otherwise. And you guys are getting a lot of traction in terms of the hobby, not just from gecko people outside Crested geckos are watching too. So great job, guys.
Thank you. Good. Thanks, man. Thanks, Brian. I hope it's a good impact.
You guys are my brothers, of course.
If it ever seems like we are above anybody, let us know. Call us out.
We're not.
We're
always learning.
We're learning alongside you guys, and I think that's the beauty of the podcast. It's not just ours; it's with you guys, right? And I hope to keep it that way. AJ and I want to, and you, Brian. I know I speak for all three of us when we when we say that this is a podcast for everybody, and we're all just doing the same thing, trying to love the animals.
Represent for the Gecko Pod here, you know.
Yeah, there it is. Limited edition.
Yeah, I'm working for AJD Reptiles.
I'm rocking myself. I'm bad. Which side am I on? This side.
One of us was supposed to have the Who's Gecko shirt. Then we would have been the trio.
We didn't coordinate this right.
We didn't coordinate. We just showed up. So any hot topics you guys want to kick us off with while I kind of load some of these questions up? What do you guys want to talk about?
I'm sure Brian's always coming in hot with something.
Brian,
what do you got?
Bring the
hot
controversy.
Topics. Hot topics.
Controversial topics. What do you got? We'll start it off.
Should we start off with the fire, like, or we should just like ease into it with something?
We can ease in probably.
Either way, it'll be good.
Honestly, I forgot what I had lined up. I know one of them was. I guess we can like start talking about. Let's talk about community. I would like to talk a little bit about the community based on like how the gecko community is very important in terms of just breeding geckos instead of people who are just in it for the dollar, you know. I think it's called a hobby for a reason. So breeding geckos is probably very important with the community. So I think let's start with what do you think if you didn't have the community, like, would you be so entwined with the gecko breeding as you guys are now? Like with Gecko Pod, the auctions, like these are all very like community engaging things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's definitely gotten better the past few years. And I think people that have been around longer than maybe before, like I think since COVID, maybe COVID pushing everybody inside, maybe kind of encouraged more community just because everybody's friends were internet friends, right? So maybe that strengthened it. I'm not really sure what the catalyst was, but it's been, I would say that like the community has gotten stronger as a whole, but also with that increase in community has come drama and has come people not being happy with each other and all that stuff. So, there's been pros and cons, but I think as a whole, it's heading in the right direction, I would say, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need a community for anything. It could be the gecko community. It could be a CrossFit community. It could be,
if you ride horses, horseback riding communities.
A lot of horses.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're in the plant community, I think some communities are stronger than others. But in general, if you do a hobby and you're solo, it's very hard unless you're like the hugest introvert that doesn't care at all about human interaction. I think you need community to some degree, right? Even as an introvert for myself, and even if you're in a family unit, I think community is like built into our DNA in terms of needing to share your passions with somebody, right? You can say you're an introvert, but then you still have to share. You still want to share it on your Instagram, or you want other people to see what you're doing, and so you can only be by yourself for so long. Like even for me, like I always like joke with my wife. I'm like, I could just disappear in the mountains and never see anybody for the next year or two, and I joke that, but the reality is, man, I want people to see these animals that I'm producing. I want to tell you guys, AJ and Brian, and so the community aspect is important, but with the community comes drama. It comes good things and bad things. And it comes with the territory, and I think that's in some sense it's not cool, but it's also okay, right? Because it's like any other community. There's always going to be drama somewhere,
Yeah, that's not unique to this hobby at all.
Yeah.
The and that community can look totally different. I know that we have like a little group chat that we talk together with, but like we all have those with a bunch of different people. Yeah. So maybe that doesn't mean like you have to be like. It has to be a Facebook group or whatever. It could be like, oh, I have 3 people, breeders I really like, and we're in an Instagram like group DM together or whatever it is. And maybe you guys talk on the phone or whatever it is, like, or you share pictures back and forth. That stuff's really encouraging. If you're in the hobby and you're trying to get to know people, that stuff's good to do. So,
yeah. Well, for me, I realized back a little bit over 20 years ago when I was doing this solo as a teenager, I was vending shows and I would go online on the fauna classifieds and stuff like that. I wasn't really on the Pangea forums and stuff because, I wasn't really into the crested geckos. So I felt very isolated. I didn't have many friends. There wasn't Facebook. It was AOL Instant Messenger. You would connect with somebody and you guys talk on AIM or something. And whenever I was like communicating with somebody in the hobby, it was just in person at shows. So when I came back into this, I think, so I made a couple friends just through inquiring about animals. And first one was like mutant geckos when I got Super Giant from him.
Is that Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin from Mutant Geckos. And I got friendly. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like I'm talking to people. And then as I got further into it, I started talking to more people in the Crested and in the Crested community. And I started connecting in more ways than just geckos, because I realized that most of us are very similar. We're similar. We're not the same. We all have similar interests, not just geckos, like with us, just us 3 here. And I can talk to you guys about pretty much anything that goes on in my life. And if I have to look for like an outlet to like look for like some kind of support, like I can see you guys and be like, talk to you guys and be like, hey, listen, this is what I'm going through. And then you guys are my outlet of support. So holding like the community, without the community, we wouldn't have what we have here, or what like I have with the other people in this chat, or anybody that's going to be watching this later on. It's just, I think there's just more people. Like I made a post yesterday on my Instagram and I was like, I made a post like kind of like F the people that are in it for themselves type thing. And like I was just like really ticked off because I'm like so passionate about it. Like why are people just so in it for themselves? But yeah, I think it's just important for me, you know.
Yeah.
Saw some angry Brian come out yesterday.
Yeah, I try not to. I try to be.
I was messaging you like, bro, are we good? Are you?
AJ, you're such a narcissist, bro.
All right, there's so many.
Might as well tag AJ on that voice.
You know how many messages I got yesterday? Like, bro, you good? You good? Like asking if like,
are we good? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
everybody's like, oh man, did I piss Brian off? Is this me that this is?
I had about 40 messages asking. Either they were curious of who
38
it was.
of those were me. No.
The person that it was about didn't message you probably, huh?
No, they didn't. They did not. But it was so funny when people like, hey, what's this is about? Or they asked, hey, is it me? And I would respond, yeah, it was you. And then I love fucking with people, but I was just like, hey, I said, yeah, it was you. You screwed me. I said, you screwed me. And they're like,
so you sent that message to 39 people. Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
That's funny. Good, man.
Oh, Penny's in here. Yeah, she's another Penny's person that I talk to a lot on the DMs. I got animals coming from her.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's funny.
That is good. Okay, want to take a few. We could keep chatting about random stuff, but
yeah, if you guys have questions too in general for tonight, throw them in the chat. Yeah. But we have some, I think, Instagram submitted ones we're gonna do.
Yeah, some Instagram ones I loaded up. If you have questions in the chat, feel free to touch on stuff you guys want to talk about too, and we'll try to see where we can.
Flexi's in the house. What's up,
Yo,
Flexi? Feeling
Flexi. I still need to go visit Flexi.
Fleximal.
I need to go get some stuff.
You're like 40 minutes away from them too, right?
Yeah, it's like 35, but it's a direction I never go unless I'm going to their house.
Oh, they're like northwest of you, or
they're like straight west of me.
Oh, straight west. Oh,
yeah. I'm just gonna randomly throw in some stuff that has been asked. Okay, so egg incubation advice. We can give like quick hot takes. Spend a minute or two on some of these egg incubation advice. So I guess that's pretty general, kind of broad, but how do you do it?
Well,
what is it?
Crested gecko eggs are pretty easy. The fact that you can use all the different medias and they still do pretty well shows how easy the eggs are. So
yeah,
basically you could use like aquatic pond soil, which is like Pangea hatch, super hatch, Rapashi hatch. That's probably the most common because people do that kind of like fill and drain method on that.
Yeah.
Where you like basically saturate it with water and then dump the excess out. And then you kind of monitor the color of the clay substrate for when it dries out. So that's probably the most common. And then perlite and vermiculite are very common as well.
Yeah.
The use of that aquatic pond soil is new though. I'd say it's only been really used in crested geckos for maybe less than 10 years.
Temp wise, what do you incubate at? What do you guys incubate at? Both of you guys?
I shoot for like mid 70s, like 74, 75.
Oh, wow. I'm at 70, 71. I try to keep it low 70s.
Okay. I keep it at this room temp in here. I put it on my racks, so it's around 74, 75. So I'm like AJ in terms of the temps.
Yeah. So. I like, I feel like they hatch a little stronger if you go a little bit warmer. When I was incubating them low, like in that 70, 71, I'd occasionally get one that would just hatch kind of weak. And so I seem to get more rigorous hatchlings coming out of like those 74 temps. But I don't want to push too high, especially if you're incubating lilies, because you can get some of those neurological things if you can incubate them too warm too. So
is that about 78 and above?
I've never actually tested the limit, but I think from reading the Lily article, it was like high 70s.
Okay.
78,
I know the Gilpins
79.
the Gilpins did a study on that too, right? Personally,
I don't think on the Lily White like neurological stuff.
Okay.
But that's just from Lily Exotics posts when they first kind of came out about the morph. They shared that info. So
okay.
Cool. So what are yours hatch roughly like in the 90 to 100 day mark at 75-ish?
Probably shorter, probably like in the 80 something. 75, 75 to 85.
Yeah, I was so this last year I was going lower because obviously like everybody's tried their own experiment of like temp sexing and stuff like that. So I wanted to see last year if I would incubate at like 70, 71, if I would get higher female rates and stuff. So based on that already, I'm pretty much last year's was like a 50-50 out of 140 babies. So it's about 50-50.
Yeah, that was your ratio of male to female.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think you can swing it with temp. I don't
think so either. I don't think so either. So I'm gonna try incubating a little bit warmer this year, but I'm also switching off of the Pangea hatch.
What are you going to?
Perlite. I'm going back. That's what I used to do back in the day, and I feel like I'm having a really rough time this year.
I won't incubate Yuris, cave geckos, leaf-tail geckos, any of that stuff on super hatch. It does not do well. So I think perlite is probably the way to go. Perlite or vermiculite is the way to go if you have the knowledge and experience to like get your gram scale out and weigh it and weigh the amount of water you need. But I'm not a huge super hatch or Pangea hatch fan. I just think that I use it on some cresteds, but I'm like considering moving away too.
Okay.
So.
I'll have to ask you about that on the back end. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I just think Pangea is I say it's a good product, or super hatch is good product for beginners, because at least they know when it's too dry, if it dries out. You can look at it. Oh, there's no water. It's not damp enough, so I'm gonna have to
add water,
wet it. So
okay.
I just think it holds too much water sometimes.
Holly Morningstar, she wants to know thoughts about the orange spots on the wild types and where they have gone in the domestic cresties. You familiar with that, AJ?
I definitely know like the pictures she's talking about, but I don't know. I mean, it could have literally been like the animals that they collected just didn't happen to have them. Maybe they just didn't catch any that looked like that. I'm not sure if we know that those for sure ended up in captive collections. So that's a good question. Sorry, I don't have an answer.
You gotta send me a picture if you could find that. I want to see a picture of that. What you're talking about.
Would you guys buy an animal with no lineage based on its looks or past because it has no lineage? I think we've had that question.
I'll buy it.
Yeah, if it's a really nice animal, buy it with no lineage.
Especially if like you can visibly see the traits that it has that you're looking for. Like if it's very clear, like, oh, I want like a pick something. I want a red phantom lily white. Okay, well, I can see it's red. I can see it's a phantom. I can see it's a lily white. So it checks the boxes. It's got good head structure or whatever. I don't know what lineage would do for you in that scenario, other than just confirm that the parents carried the traits but clearly they did. If they made the offspring, they carried the traits. So
for me, I wouldn't so I would buy it based on what I'm working with, but like all right, so for instance, dark animals, right? If I want,
Yeah.
I like the dark phantom stuff, right? So I want phantom genes. So I get a few people who send me dark based animals, no lineage, patterned, like Harlequin stuff, pinstripes,
Mhm.
and they're dark based, but without lineage. Unless if it was like a het phantom, I wouldn't want it because then I would have to do 2 generations of breeding to get a phantom from that animal, you know? So that's that would be an instance where I wouldn't buy a non-lineaged animal.
Okay. Yeah, there's cases where you would or you wouldn't, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but for the most part, if it's a nice looking, nice animal,
Yeah.
buying it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
who's going to a show, seeing an animal that's amazing that would fit your project, and then being like, no lineage, no thanks. I don't think most people are doing that.
No lineage, no thanks.
You don't
I'm
have
gonna do that.
You don't have pictures of the 8th grandparent on the
I'm going-
father's side. No, thank you.
You don't have the hatch date on this thing either.
You don't have the lay date on this thing that's 5 years old. I'm not interested.
I don't want it. I'm gonna go to Flora Fauna and go on people's tables, and then like when I'm looking at it, like it's kind of hard for me when I go to a show and I'm looking at an animal and the vendors, like whoever's standing there is looking at me and they're like, and then you don't want the animal, and here you had this whole conversation, you don't want the animal, and you don't want to say no because it's like kind of like you just spent that time, whatever, and then you don't want to just walk away and like, oh, thanks, but no thanks.
So you're like, show me the parents.
Yeah, show me. I want to see the great grandparents on these animals.
That's the go-to out. Oh, you don't have the great grandparents? Yeah.
No,
get out of here, kid.
That's gonna be a no-go for me.
I'm gonna say no lineage, no thanks. I'm gonna say it exactly like
That's your way
Oh,
out.
I saw that the 8th great grandfather had 1 Dalmatian spot. I'm not interested.
Oh no.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That is funny. Penny asked, Cowbung Crested, how about importing and exporting for the first time? I've only done in the States so far, but hoping to expand out of the States. My 3rd season to ship out, but want to have advice.
I can talk about this. So you're going to deal with a 3rd-party shipper. So what a lot of people like, it's a consolidator, right? So think about, I won't name people, but there'll be like, and there's like 5 different main cities that are port cities in the US that have fish and wildlife or I guess it would be fish and wildlife. Or they have officers at the airport that can clear live animal shipments. So it's like Atlanta, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, Miami, New York, New Jersey has it too. So there's these hub cities that you can ship in and out of. So most of the time there'll be someone that lives close to there that is the consolidator. And so you'll ship to that person. So say I'm the consolidator, a bunch of people, 50 people are going to ship geckos to me. And then I'm going to take all those geckos out of boxes and label them and possibly recup them and put them into a big box. And then I'm going to, I'm the person who has all the paperwork to ship those animals internationally, right? I'm going to ship that to a kind of unconsolidator in, say, Korea. And then they're going to take those animals and they know where all those customers are, and they're going to reship or deliver those animals from their big box. They're going to break them all up again and deliver them. So there's middlemen that are doing that work for you. So really all you need to worry about is shipping to the person that is the consolidator on the state side, and then making sure the animal, so tips would be make sure the animal is really well fed before you ship it. It's well hydrated, and don't ship it too wet in the cup. Don't think, nobody's going to spray this thing for 4 days, because that is their job. And if you overspray it, you actually risk harming the animal. So
if it goes overseas, it takes multiple days. It's like 2 days.
I mean, sometimes, when I used to ship to Ham, I'd ship a gecko, and I don't mean to say it like this, but I kind of like forget about it. Like, oh, I shipped it, everything. I know it got there.
Yeah.
And the customer would send me a message like 3 weeks later, like, "Hey, just got the gecko, looks great." And I'm like, it's been
alive?
3 weeks. I feel like Korea is pretty quick now. The turnaround is like, you ship it on a Wednesday
Like a
and
week.
they get it on like a Tuesday or a Monday or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
about a week.
But
better.
some of those Europe shipments, man, are long. They're very long.
I've never shipped to Europe yet.
Pretty dangerous then, huh?
I don't know if it's dangerous, because in theory, what those people should be doing is they should be opening up the cup, swapping the paper towel, probably taking a cricket, throwing it in the cup, spraying them, keeping up on them, right? That's what they should be doing. But the risk you run is that you have no idea what they're doing. I mean, once it's out of your hands, it's out of your hands, which is why most people with international shipment don't offer live arrival guarantee, since you have no control over what the middlemen are doing.
Yeah.
So me too. I generally just say, I'll guarantee that it will make it safe and sound to the consolidator in the US. And I'll support you if, something happens that was outside of their control or, but yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys personally import things overseas quite often or not too much?
I will if it's the right animal, but it doesn't happen a lot.
Okay. I got you.
I haven't yet. It's just, I mean, you spend so much on fees to import, and I feel like we have so many breeders in the US that make exceptional animals.
Yeah.
That
you don't have to.
Yeah, that I don't have to go to overseas and buy a animal.
Yeah.
I mean, there are really good breeders in like Europe, especially like even Korea has some nice stuff. And I gotta, we can talk about this later, but Korea is gonna be exporting to the United States coming up. With a lot of animals. With certain morphs and what they've been farming over there. So
we're talking about sables.
Sables, Xanthics,
They're farming it there, so it's inevitable, man. They're gonna be when they can't buy it amongst them, sell it amongst themselves, and the market crashes there. Who are they gonna go to? They're gonna come here, and we'll be buying it at like wholesale pricing, pretty much, right?
$20 sables next week.
$20? Hell yeah, I'm in.
$20. Sorry, I only buy $15 wholesale now.
I'm gonna search for my sables at Petco soon.
You think I'm gonna be like, no lineage? No thanks.
I'm gonna start. I get my Luwaks from Petco.
Your Sorax and your Chochos. This is a good question. I thought is that Preston asked. How hard have you guys found it to breed out Dalmatian spots on patterned animals?
I'll tell you, I don't even try anymore because it's not worth it to me.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible, but I think I think Dalmatian is something where we don't fully understand it yet. There is, some people will say out there's camps that just say, oh, it's incomplete dominant. You breed that animal to a non-spotted animal, it'll be 50-50. Keep ones that don't have spots. The next gen won't have spots, but that's not always the case. So I think there's other forms of Dalmatian out there that are either recessive or I don't know. There's other things going on where that's not always the case where, oh, you just keep back the one that doesn't have spots, breed it, and you're good. It doesn't seem to always be the case. I think most of the time that works. Basically just selecting for the animals that pop out without the trait and then moving from there, but it's not 100%. So.
Oh, hold on here. Preston says, oh no, don't tell me that. Just bought a nice female and she has a handful. I didn't know. It's all right, Preston. We all have animals that
I have animals with spots
to be have.
Yeah, but I mean, I
like them too.
I haven't bred long enough to even try like how many generations it'll be. But I mean, if you got an animal that you like and it's pretty, just breed it, man. Who cares?
Yeah. There's no like, I don't know. I mean, I'm
the only
not
one that cares is Robbie's reptiles.
Roby's Red Runners doesn't like it.
Roby's-
Roby hates them. Roby hates all spots.
This is true though. I will say what Robbie's saying here is true. Like you could have a gecko that has literally one spot like hidden in its pattern somewhere, like it's a dark face gecko. It's got like one, or it's got one like a lot of people don't see. Like they'll have them like on the bottom of its tail or something. And they can just pop out spots. It's crazy.
I'm gonna start looking at all my geckos. I'm gonna look at all their balls for spots now. like
you're gonna bust out that microscope and just be like.
Then I'm gonna spread the vent open.
Oh man, there's one on the right hemipene. I can see it.
That's funny. I did a poll about pattern dowels, if people are okay with it, and in general, most people are okay with pattern.
That was actually surprising to me.
And so it was kind of cool to see that, maybe because there's so many dowel spots in so many different projects,
especially tricolors, man. They're freaking everywhere in tricolors.
And so I think we just kind of live with some of those things. And be
which I don't mind on spots are like spots put in like strategic areas, like in the dark spots or underneath like the reverse pinning area. Like you can't really tell when it's fired up, so I don't really care about something like that.
We all have them, guys. We all have pattern dowels in our.
Let's
project.
get those dirty
dowels trending.
Make dirty Harley projects popular again.
I gotta start start a new trend. Maybe
make
I'll do
pattern dowels popular again.
It never was popular.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Long day.
Long day, guys. Long days. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? This one I need a little bit of help deciphering. Biosecurity topic would be nice, especially working with large quantities of live animals. So are we talking about losing your animals?
Biosecurity, they're talking about like quarantining, hand washing, different things like that.
Okay.
So general like biosecurity.
Okay.
Thoughts
on that?
I don't know. I mean, I think the best way to do it is I try to like pick breeders that I know have similar practices to me. I don't really like to buy random animals. And if I ever have to, I quarantine them in a separate room of my house. But if I like buying animals from people that I know, and I know what their care practices are, I know they're not taking in tons of random animals. I mean, I think that's the best thing to start with. And then just having good cleaning protocols, cleaning with like, soap and water, F10, light bleach solutions, chlorhexidine, any of those things, especially on new animals you get, cleaning their tubs with an antiseptic agent, when you first get them in for quarantine is good too. So
yeah, cool. Anything to add onto that, Brian? Are you good on that one?
No, I agree. Same thing.
Okay.
Quarantine.
Monitor your animals.
Monitor your animals. Oh no, go ahead, Brian.
I sometimes take a little step further. I'll get fecal done just because it's very easy for me to do it. I literally can walk to my vet's office because they're 2-3 blocks away. So I can walk to their office and he charges me $20 a fecal. So
yeah,
it's for me not to do it. It's like
That's
kind
so
of a no-brainer because it's so cheap and it's so convenient for me. Like I don't expect everybody to do it or anybody to do it. It's just for my kind of like security and just feel better.
Robbie asked recommended disinfectants. F10 is one. Another one is chlorhexidine gluconate. I know that because I used to sell it in hospitals. So
he's like, what are you talking about?
I know all about
these things. I know all this.
I know all about chlorhexidine. gluconate, or as we call it, CHG. And I can't believe I'm talking about something I used to sell to nurses and doctors. But yeah, that's good. And then like light bleach solutions, and then obviously soap and water is great. Just
what ratio would you do bleach to water? Like
it's very
250?
Oh, it's very low. I'd have to look. I mean, I do it's
so potent.
It's minuscule amounts. Like you know, in a gallon of water, it's like an eighth of a cap. It's very small amounts because it's so. I mean, the amount of bleach you need to make water like potable, able to be drank, is minuscule. It's so bleach is very powerful. So, yeah.
I use what do I buy it from? Habiclean. I don't even know what's in that.
It's probably got the same active ingredients as one of these things we've talked about.
Oh, okay.
I'd imagine if you look at there's only so many things that
I'm gonna have to look it up and then send you this.
So many pet safe. Only so many pet safe antiseptics or
Clorox.
Chlorhex.
So that's Chlorhex.
And he uses Chlorhex. So does Dallas. Chlorhexidine.
Yep.
Yeah. This one's a follow-up. How long do you quarantine, say, a new female before pairing? 2 weeks? If you have to quarantine.
Longer. If I had to get one in, like buy one in.
Yeah.
I mean,
like ready to breed?
I would do a couple months, but.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, that's long.
But I mean, it also depends on who it's coming from. If I'm like over at Gabby's house.
Yeah.
And I bring it back, I probably won't even quarantine it. I'll give it I'll give it a week or two to like start eating, but we both have pretty close collections. I'm there all the time. I'm selling animals to her, buying animals from her. So something like that, where it's like a local connection where we know each other. We have the same practices of care.
Yeah.
I don't worry about it as much. But if I got like a random animal off Morph Market shipped in, I'm probably doing 2 months.
What about a friend that you're collabing with that ships to you? Depends
on who it is.
Yeah.
Friend that like you'd get the 2 weeks as well. If it's like somebody I don't know the status of how they take care of stuff, you're clearly look behind you. I mean, you're clearly like proud of the way you take care of your animals, and I know your practices. I know you fecal stuff when you bring it in. So I wouldn't hesitate with you. But some people that I don't know well, I would wait. I would. Okay, I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think so too. I usually do like if I'm doing a collaboration, it's like 2 to 4 weeks based on,
especially if you're running fecals on them too, and
so
you're doing an extra step. Most people aren't. So
I just get my AJ animals and I throw them right in. So your care is appreciated.
Yeah. If you have any problems, then you can tell me.
The source is AJ.
Yeah.
Recommended PVC enclosures. There's a lot.
We can get a short list. We'll say Gecko Junkie, Focus Cube, Animal Plastics, DW Terraria, Tamura Designs.
Some more pricier than others.
I would say those are like the top ones.
Yeah.
Between those 5.
Yeah. A lot of good options.
Yeah.
Nuka Violet says, what weight is too heavy for an adult crested gecko? I see people posting 85-gram geckos saying it's healthy. I read the original imported animals were 40 grams max as adults. True?
That probably is true that they came in 40 grams max. I believe that.
I think it has to go based on animals. Some are larger than others. You gotta have to look at the animal. If it looks overweight, then
yeah.
You know, we seen like 80-gram geckos that
lay great.
Yeah.
I have some females that are like 80, 85, like Arcane and Built. They breed with Bloodbath, and they are like 85 grams, but I get like 10 clutches a year from them. So they're massive, but they lay. So it's all kind of, but they're huge. They're long geckos. They're fat, but they're long. They're big geckos. But I think that, and I think I don't know. Every time I go to say something, I'm like, I've said this before. But I'll just say We have selectively bred crested geckos to be way larger than they were originally.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started, everybody said 30 grams, 35 grams to breed females. Now I recommend like the safe point is like 45, maybe even higher. Like some of these new gen geckos, I feel like are so big, you have to go like 50. But some geckos, if they're from kind of old school lines, they might max out at 40, 45. So you might breed females at high 30s or 40, but it depends on the animal. But I think over time we've bred them to be bigger. So what is now breedable adult has grown to be a higher number than what it was when they originally imported them. So
it's like leopard geckos when they're the first imports, they were like 50, 60 grams, and now the largest leopard geckos.
Leopards.
Okay.
Oh,
they were like average 60, 50 grams. 60. If you got
now
70,
there's like 150 gram leopard geckos.
The record's like the record is Thor in the UK. I think he's 185.
That thing is massive.
Things like 13 inches long,
It's
like
lychee.
It's a freaking lychee, yeah.
It's a lychee. I have like mine's 140 grams, almost a foot.
Have you seen some of those tokays that are like 400 grams?
Oh those things.
Gosh, no.
That's what I want,
dude. They look like a
one of
lychee. They're like bigger than a lychee, and they're
they're
so
cool.
Snap your fingers off for sure.
I thought I saw that the like heaviest recorded gecko was actually a tokay.
A tokay. I saw that too in Indonesia.
Yeah, it's like 550 grams.
Dude, you guys gotta send that picture. I gotta see that picture.
Yeah, that's what I want. It's like a puppy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Do you think pied morphs will ever be found in crusty genetics?
Possible. I think if it did, it would probably be a recessive trait. I think it's recessive in pretty much everything else.
Everything.
So, I mean, it's possible. I mean, like anything else, like we were talking about lily whites earlier this week, right, Harry? And we were talking about how it was a genetic mutation, right? So the first animal, the first lily white that came out was not produced by a lily white. Like it came out of nowhere. So we could see the first pied pop from a mutation, and then the way that it's actually produced is it's a recessive trait. It needs 2 copies of the gene.
Just line breed it.
But I mean, there's genetic mutations in animals the longer you breed them. So it's very possible. I think xanthic was probably something that came in from the wild, from what I can tell. But a lot of this, and there's original wild things like tiger and pinstripe and, red pattern, orange pattern, white pattern, and soft scale probably came in off of the wild, and, but
it could be, I don't think there's any limit to any morph now.
No.
So imagine, think about like this. So you don't have to get that genetic mutation. There could be just het pieds in people's collections, and you just need to unlock the key and hit the 2 het pieds together and eventually get it. So there actually could be animals that are het pied right now, but nobody knows because it doesn't show anything visually. So eventually, if you were to hit the 2 animals to link together and 2 hets together, you'll get a pied. Who knows? It's possible. Like in ball pythons, ball pythons was different. They were actually importing pied bulls. It wasn't
the original really animals were probably found in the wild in Africa, imported and then bred here. But a lot of that stuff that like in ball pythons, a lot of those traits, there's still popping new ones in people's collections that are not like just wild import. Like, oh, look at this one, it's different. People are just like popping traits out of their collection randomly. So
it's the more you stack these genes and all these genetic traits, I think you just end up unlocking more.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good question. Use of liquid calcium for breeding purposes. Sometimes you guys use that, right? I know.
I probably have to use it like 4 times a year max. I don't use it very often.
If like a girl crashes.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if a girl just like, if I just see her egg quality is kind of trash. If she, my first thing that I want to do is I want to feed her dusted insects.
Yeah.
That's like my first instinct. And if she'll eat those, that's what I'd prefer. Because she's also getting that protein and that extra fat and a proper ratio of phosphorus and calcium, because the insect has a decent amount of phosphorus to it as well. So doing that is my preferred. But if I have to, if they won't eat insects, I will do the liquid calcium. But I didn't do that for like 15 years and I was fine. So
okay.
Yeah.
So usually the dusted bugs works wonders for you.
Yeah. That's my preference if I can. And a lot of those females that are kind of doing crappy, they will take bugs because they know what they need. A lot of them will.
Yeah.
So try it. It's kind of weird. You'll have a gecko that like normally won't eat bugs and starts calcium crashing, and then they will.
If you do need to add liquid calcium, do you just drop it into their Pangea, or
you can either like say fill their cup and take a handful of drops and do it right on top of the diet, or you can just grab them and like kind of crack the corner of their, you can just put it on their nose. A lot of it is like not sweetened but scented.
Okay.
You can often just drop it right on their nose and they'll lick it off. Okay. If they won't lick it off, you could kind of crack the corner of their mouth with the pointy end of the dropper and squirt it in. But that's kind of last resort because the animal's already stressed. The last thing I want to do is pin it down and shoot calcium into its mouth.
Force feed it things.
Same thing. Like I don't know where you guys fall on this. I don't ever check my gecko's calcium sacs. I personally don't do that because I think it's so much added stress on an animal to turn it upside down and try to get it to open its mouth. And
yeah, I've never done it.
And plus, you can't be checking 100 animals' calcium sacs.
No, I know people that check them all, and I'm like, man, if you're feeding a good diet, then they should be fine. And if you see the egg quality going down, then that should be your indicator. Because they won't go from like perfect eggs to eggs that are unviable. They'll go from perfect eggs to like a 75% calcified egg with one patch that's kind of off. And then the next will be like, oh, it's kind of like a 50-50 egg. They won't go from, they don't go from 100 to 0 on calcification of eggs. So just monitor your egg production too.
Yeah.
I know. I think, who was I talking to? Oh, I think I was talking to Tiki. I think I was talking to David, and they have like a rating system for the quality of an egg that comes out. So like when a clutch is laid, say it's like this date clutch was laid, they have a note card, and it's like they've got like A, B, and C grade egg quality. And so they know if females are laying C eggs, okay, we got to up the calcium in this cage, or we got to feed them more insects, or I don't know what he actually does in that case, but they have a rating system so that they know kind of how to treat those animals.
Yeah, so that's good. That is good. Super Sable Lily, thoughts on Super Sable? We could talk about Sable in general too.
It's badass. I like it.
Sick. I like it, man. They're really cool. Nice.
It looks like what, man. It almost looks like the pinnacle of what you'd expect out of Xanthic Lily White.
Let me see if I could pull it up. You guys keep chatting.
I would love to see. I would love to. I want to
see
a large, like an adult one. Really.
Oh, I bet they're crazy looking. And the thing that's weird to me about them is it appears that they actually have more crest than Super Sables normally do.
Oh, with the Lily gene.
Yeah, it looks like they had better structure.
It's interesting.
Which is interesting.
That's very interesting.
I found it. Let me share this screen here.
Yeah, it almost looks xanthic, like Rainy Day says.
Yeah, that's
pick the one. Pick the one that's alive, though. Pick the other one.
Pick the live one. No, that's a super sable.
Here, back up.
Hold on here.
That one. That one right there. Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah.
But I think I see a Dalmatian spot on that, Robbie. Am I wrong?
Actually, I think Mumu didn't even officially call it a super sable. He I don't think he's sure, but he did post just saying
it says
that
super sable lily white as a hashtag. So
whom is it?
Right here.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh, okay.
That
maybe
looks crazy,
not in the description of.
Because I was reading it, he was posting it in the Facebook Sable group, and he was just saying that this was a result towards Sable Lily White with the Sable breeding.
Yeah, it's really interesting. If you see the mostly dark tail, that's something I've seen like on all the ones I've seen over at Morph Menagerie's house, Gabby's house. Almost all of them have that at least 50% dark tail. All sables that I've seen.
So that's like that might be a good marker, huh, for sable.
I think it is one of you can't be like my gecko's got half a dark tail. It's a sable.
Yeah, it's a sable.
It seems like that is, and maybe that's just like a trait that the original animal had, and it's passing that trait along.
Don't caps have similar dark tails like that?
Yes.
Not all of them though.
Okay.
I think a lot of the caps have that kind of like linear striping on the bottom of their tail. I think is something that people call
the original like markers of remember when caps were started being noticed, that
the Y at the base of the tail.
The Y at the base of the tail, but they also said that the dark from the tip to the mid base was a marker too.
Yeah.
So I mean, as time goes on, you're gonna have. There's a lot of caps that don't have that, and there's also caps
and there's caps that don't have the Y.
Yeah.
And there's caps that don't have the brown heads, and now that we're seeing some of these like orange caps and stuff, like
sick, man.
Well, that one breaks all of the indicators, So once we get different phenotypes of the traits, we'll be those things won't all apply to every animal anymore. So
little beasties going to Petco to look for sables.
Yeah.
Everyone go to your local Petco shop.
They're selling Luox.
I heard was it somebody was at Petco and they found a super cap once?
Long
time ago.
They let one slip.
I'm talking about before cap was a thing. Like somebody posted a picture of a super cap and was like, look at this ugly ass animal. Like, how can they sell this?
Are you sure it wasn't posted in What's My Gecko Worth?
Oh no, you did not just mention that.
People are like $50.
Uh-oh.
It's all good.
You opened up a can of worms.
No, I didn't say it. Cut it. Cut that out, Harry. Cut it out.
Cut it out of the live.
Everybody, kidding.
Turn your sounds off.
Everybody, you did not hear that.
Everybody join. They said my gecko's worthless. Is that the new?
They said my gecko's worthless. Did somebody say that? Yeah, that was the name. That was that thing that Greenleaf posted. The fake group. They said my gecko's worthless.
Oh no! Yeah, try to
that was funny.
That's funny. The drama makes it a little bit exciting in the.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone yesterday, and it was like, oh man, here we go. We can't go more than like 3 days without something to talk about. So here we go.
Some kind of drama. There's always going to be drama. As long as it doesn't include us, I'm all right. I can always observe and pay attention. Like, I don't want to be involved in it ever. I just want to watch it. It's like
You just want
it's
to
like
watch
reality. It's like reality TV. You know, my wife loves watching like Real Housewives. I'm like, why do you watch this? She's like, the drama is so good. Like
Trash
that
TV.
woman slept with that man and blah blah blah. I'm like, what?
I like what Kenny says here. Put that Buckeye
Kenny.
comment up. I agree with this.
Your gecko's
totally
worth
agree
whatever
with this.
someone is willing to pay for it. Yes.
I mean, that's what we're all doing. I mean, we're all
Exactly.
everything is subjective to what it's worth to somebody else. Like, I see some animals that, like, say, like in that group that we're talking about, that come across sometimes, and I'm like, that's actually a really valuable animal because it has, like, if it has things that you want in it for a project, like, oh, it has XYZ. Oh, it's this, and this. And I've been trying to make one of those, but I haven't made one yet. And maybe it wouldn't be valuable to somebody else, but it might be really valuable to you. So I don't know. It's a hard thing to put pricing,
An exact price,
blanket pricing on stuff.
Can't do that.
It's a hard thing to do. I feel like it's hard enough to price your own animals, let alone someone else's. I wouldn't sign up for that, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to.
It could be.
I don't want to be giving people, like, people send me messages all the time, like on Instagram, and they send me a picture. Hey, what would you price my animal? Like, what would you sell it at? I'm like, oh. I actually forward them to what's my gecko's worth.
Oh no, dude! You're sending them right to the lion's den.
And just because I don't want to be that person that may offend them. You know, what if their gecko to me isn't what I want? Like, I can't put a value on it because I don't know. Like, that's not something I want. You know, if it's not something I want, then obviously I'm not gonna value it the way you want it to be. And then if I offend them, you know, you don't want to offend anybody. I don't like, you know, I try to be nice to everybody.
Yeah,
I think so. I think the best way to do it, and this does take time, is that you're just always looking at Morph Market and in general the range of prices. This is literally what I do.
Yeah,
you know, like, I'm asking around prices all the time, and it helps me gauge the range of what something is worth, and I buy accordingly. If it's like a $500 animal at this point, then I'm going to buy it at that point because I want it. Otherwise, I wait a little bit and it goes down, or, you know, so it just takes a little bit of work to kind of know what your gecko is worth.
Well,
just keep looking. And
it's also so interesting, like, even like on something like lily whites or empty backs or something, where you can buy a empty back, you can buy a het empty back, say, that somebody doesn't know is a het empty back because they don't know how to identify. You can buy it for $100, or you can buy the same animal from AC Reptiles for $4,000. And I'm not saying that one is right or wrong, but like, the person who's selling it, how much knowledge they have about what the animal is they're selling, all of those different things can determine price.
Yeah.
So same with like lily whites. You can go to your local reptile show, probably buy a lily for $200, or you could buy one that is from
Chase or something,
like Chase or Kyle, or like any of these people that make really nice lilies, and spend $3,000 on it. Yeah. And they're like, I don't know. So it's like, you can't just say, oh, a lily white male's $200. I saw one at a reptile show. You know, that's a hard thing to do. So
yeah, it's really, and
it's a nuance thing.
And you also have to see that the market fluctuates so much. Like, think about it. Two years ago, whatever you posted your animal for, whatever price you wanted, you were selling it, right?
Yeah.
You could sell an animal, like even males were selling. You could sell for $1,500 or whatever, it's like something. And then now the same animal that was selling 2 years ago for $1,500 is worth like what people are paying now, like $300, $400, $500. So
yeah,
I've seen it.
Gotta market goes up and down.
Yeah, you got to be a student of the market. I think that's like something I tell everybody is like, just keep an eye, like the things that you're interested in either selling, like projects you have or animals you're thinking about buying, like find the people that sell those consistently and just take notes of like what you see average pricing at.
Yes.
Based on quality, and that'll give you a decent idea. So
yeah,
there's always those one-offs that are like super cheap or super expensive, but you can't base your pricing off of that.
Yeah.
Those are the outliers. You just want to get that range and get the average. So I think the longest work within this hobby is not just learning like all the different morphs, but really the pricing in the market.
Yeah,
because that's the name of the game, right? This is what we're doing. We're selling and buying animals, and so
yep.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Info on white spot trait.
I have a lot of it and I'm working heavily with it. I don't think I don't know the black and white answer for it, because I think there also might be different white spot traits. There might be 2 or 3. And so I'm not sure. I think this year, like when I take some of that Frostline stuff, especially that like next gen Frostline, like the stuff that's like 20, 30 grams right now, when I do outcrosses to animals that have no white spot trait and raise those, I'll have a better idea of, is this like an incomplete dominant thing? And then I can see, is it 50-50? Because I think most of the animals, say if it's incomplete dominant, most of the animals I have are probably a super form of it. If it is the way that trait works, or they're producing that so heavily that pretty much anything I breed it to will have some level of it.
Yeah.
So I have to do some experiments on it. I haven't really tried. I've just tried to make more of it. I haven't tried to breed it to an animal that has none to try to figure it out, but I will do that.
So you're like, for example, your Frostline stuff, if you breed it to a non-white spot trait animal to see how it transfers is what you're
can you get like a quote unquote like a super version or like a heavy white spot version gecko out of that pairing, or do you need another copy of the trait to make that? So we'll see. I don't know if it's I haven't read that much about the white spot trait through like the foundation genetics or anything. I'd be interested to see what their take is on it, but I'll do my own homework on it as well.
I know Anthony was, when we were chatting with Anthony a little bit, then I think it's still being researched and looked at, being figured out, but it is exciting. It's cool to have more things to work on and project, and so very cool trait. Very cool.
Totally.
Trait.
Probably my favorite.
Yeah. Where can we find info on identifiers on Het EB? On the Gecko Pod. AG talks about it all the time.
almost every episode.
I will not talk about it anymore. But they asked. I don't know.
Every episode.
Please
start from episode 1. Start all over.
Oh god.
You have to come through 20 hours to
that's why I don't watch the episodes back that often. Like I've watched probably half of them back, but not all of them, because I know I'm just gonna hear myself talk about empty backs for freaking 50 hours.
Zach, you got 25 episodes to learn about empty backs.
Or Zach, send me a message and I won't bore everyone here. I'll talk to you about it.
I think you went really heavy on empty backs and the Little Monsters one. So you can start with Little Monsters. Monsters episode.
Yeah. That's true. Empty back's a good one. It is a good one. Has anyone here done a super EB pairing and gotten 100% supers?
I'm doing it this year. I've got 3 pairs that are super EB super softs.
Wow.
So I've got 3 pairings that should be 100% super empty back, super softs.
That's cool. Yeah,
which should be really cool.
AJ's gonna keep
empty backs.
Brian is I
don't hate empty backs.
Not a lover
like
of empty backs.
No, I do like them. I love them. I think they're great. It's just, come on, man. I can't just have a million projects.
Yeah. I have a ton of projects.
I have a lot of focused projects now, so I just want to focus on those, because I think if I start going towards other things, I do have 1 super stripe, but other than that, it's It's just I don't want to be all over the place.
Right up your
now,
alley.
Now we're talking.
Ooh, let's talk about this. Red base, olive base.
Yeah, tell us about
we just had this conversation today.
Tell us about this conversation.
So dark phantoms, also what people call darks, also what people call charcoals.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them, Brian.
All right, so I guess I have a small theory that that darks actually derived from reds. So, well, I also think there's also two different types of darks. So
this is your theory.
My theory, 100% my theory, not set in Penny. See,
Penny's another dark reader.
She's a dark reader. She knows.
She knows.
So olives and darks are different. Olives,
olive base doesn't fire dark.
They don't fire as dark. They do get dark. Majority of olive based are patternless. Like you won't see tigering in it or anything. It'll mostly just be patternless. They will when olives fire down, they have like a greenish tone to it.
Yes.
So with regular dark phantoms like charcoals or other darks, they fire down like a grayish tone. So if you ever look at a red that fires down, they also have a grayish tone fired down. So I just think that darks were originally like somebody hatched out like a dark red animal and then just kept selective breeding until basically the red hue has been taken out and you really just have a really dark animal. And then you have the exception of cappuccino, which makes the darkest of the darks. Right? That's Nutella, man. I want to be.
Is this Nutella? Is this from Cap Lines or no?
No, Penny she can enlighten, but
we're talking about you.
So this Penny's animal?
She said there's no
that's beautiful.
She has no lineage on this one, so she'll be breeding it. She's breeding him this year.
Super dark, man.
She'll learn a lot more from this year's breeding.
That's really pretty.
But look how dark it is. I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah, man. So you can't get this dark off of olive-based animals.
I don't think
I've never seen it. The olive-based stuff never. Like I have a few olive stuff, and they don't get that dark.
Yeah,
and it seems like a lot of the olive stuff has brown heads too.
Yes, but also you know what? Also regular
red
darks
ones
have brown heads. Yeah,
really.
They have
some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah,
the brown head is not my thing. I don't really care for it, but
see those darks both have tigering in it. But Muzan on the bottom actually gets he gets so dark you don't even see the tiger pattern.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
he's awesome.
Well, that's not because that was that's a pos cat. This one is from
NC Scales Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. Yeah, that's the
So is that Widow Kingpin?
Widow Kingpin, yeah.
Nice.
She's like 40 grams now. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm doing a lot of outcrossing breedings with darks this year to really experiment more with darks because you really want to just know the root of it so that way you get a better understanding like what's more compatible.
Yeah.
Like I know that Janina Treehouse and Cool Calm Crested's Lindsay, they both do a lot of dark stuff and red stuff.
Dark red stuff.
Yeah, so you ever see how a dark and a red, when they breed them together, you get some really dark red stuff?
Yeah.
Like
so you just keep selectively breeding those.
So this is how I think of things. You breed a red to a yellow, you're not really getting like a mix of both colors, right?
Yeah.
You're really getting like either you're gonna get some yellow, some red, some muddies, or whatever.
Or you get dirty orange.
Dirty. Yeah, you can get some dirty orange. And let's say you breed a red to the darks, you're gonna get like a red. Well, patterned animals red to darks, you'll get like 50-50, right? But phantoms, if you breed reds to darks, which I'm gonna see what I can do this year, I think I'm gonna get like a lot of mixed stuff. Like you're gonna get a lot of dark reds. If I get all dark red stuff, then then that pretty much says that red is dark. Was
Interesting.
originally. Right?
I'll be interested to see what happens out of Muzan to that red Phantom Lily-white girl.
Okay, your girl, Road Rash.
Yeah, Road Rash.
That's gonna be a good one. She's I gotta weigh her, but I think.
But that'll be a good thing to try because he's super dark, she's red, and she has lily white. So I feel like it'll be an interesting combo to see what it makes.
We're gonna get so many nice stuff with that.
Yeah, hopefully, I'm excited.
I want to get that dark Phantom Lily White and everything, man.
The elusive dark Phantom Lily White that almost no one has ever seen.
We've seen one, right? Somebody, I think I saw one recently.
I have one, but I don't know if it's a frap.
Frap.
I know it's possible. You just never see them.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. It's got to be. I've only seen Dark Brothers in Korea has them. Dark Bros. They might have one.
Dark Phantom Lily Whites.
That's not a cap.
Look up Dark Bros. Okay. Dark Bros in Korea.
Let me look it up. You guys chat. Dark Bros.
Yeah, man. Dark stuff Bros. Is. I think it'll be cool to figure out. Look at an empty back, super empty back, huh?
Yeah, there's a super empty back for the person that was asking.
Super empty back.
That's crazy. I would love that animal.
I saw some spots on it though.
Under its balls?
No, it's hiding in its dorsal.
Hiding in its dark pattern.
Oh, this was a AE gecko. Produced by AE.
That's a nice one.
By Butler. This charcoal line.
Butler.
Where's his dark Phantom Lily Whites?
He might have it. I don't know. I'm just guessing maybe. Oh,
I was red.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone
maybe they did.
I mean, is that a frap? Is that one right there a frap or no?
What is this?
Xanthic. That's gotta be.
It's cap. It's cap.
Oh, it's cap.
It's cap.
Is that cap like no lie cap, or is it cap like cappuccino?
That thing's not cap.
That's not cap.
Dark Phantom frap.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just never see them, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's not a frap or cap.
Yeah,
that's the goal, bro. That is the goal.
We'll make them. We will make them.
They will be made. Let's throw a couple more questions in.
We got some new ones.
Best products you have bought for daily use in the reptile room. I can answer this one. I've mentioned this to some people before, but I got this humidifier. If you're in a small room and you need to, let me move this.
The Govee.
This right here. Yeah, the Govee. I have a 6-liter, and it's top loading. Before I didn't have a top loader. I had to take it out, unscrew it. Things would get wet all over the place. But this thing is awesome. It's you can control it from your Govee app. And I just put RO water. I used to put distilled water, and then I got an RO system in the kitchen, and so I just keep refilling it with RO, and it's been amazing. I just run it. I just keep it running, and once it hits 60% humidity in here, then it just stops, and so it keeps it at a good pace. So it was a little bit pricey. It was like 100. I got it on sale, like $110 or something. But it's been something that I use all the time. And I keep it refilled, and it's been amazing. Yeah, it's been a good temp/humidity regulator within my two little rooms here. So
nice.
Can you control that from an app?
Yes, you could turn it on and off. You could set the humidity lower all from your app or from the interface.
Can you schedule it like, okay, 8 p.m. I want to raise the humidity to 80% or maintain 80%. And then by time like 6 in the morning, you want it to go down to like 60%. You could do that, set that schedule every day.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. It's pretty fully customizable in terms of the scheduling and So it's awesome.
You just now all you need to do is do what the Gilpins do and have that automatic fill.
With the little float valve. Yeah.
Let me just spend hundreds of thousands of dollars running water lines in my attic, just so I can fill this tub right here. Instead, I have this little jar of water.
And then you could also point out what you have on your other side that's really good for your reptile room.
This thing I got because it was on sale because Brian, you're like, it's on sale at Home Depot. That was just like a year ago, right, Brian?
Yeah. How good is that though? It works out perfectly.
It's awesome, dude. Here, let me pull it up. For those of you who don't know.
You know what I just did with mine, because I still have to use the sprayer for my hatchling room. You see that wand? I cut it in half.
Cut it down.
Yeah.
Dang,
I used a Dremel and I cut it in half. It's so much better to use when it's shorter.
Yeah, we're not we need this is product placement. These are sponsors.
Sponsor us, Ryobi.
Ryobi.
Yeah, it has a little battery. Just plug it in.
How often do you have to recharge that? Is it very often or
Dude,
no? Oh man, forever. Yeah. I'll go almost like a month without charging it.
Wow.
And I go through 2 gallons every other day. 2 gallons every other day.
So you can just buy these batteries.
Oh, you got extra ones?
So we have Lauren and I, my wife, she has a lot of tools, and we have a ton of Ryobi stuff, and so we have like 10 of these batteries.
Oh yeah, you use the Ryobi lawnmower too, right?
Yeah, I use the Ryobi.
Oh man, this podcast is definitely sponsored by Ryobi.
Ryobi, where you at, Ryobi?
That's a good sponsor, man. They pay well. They make a lot of money.
It's our first sponsor.
Not Gecko Junkie.
And another.
I'm still waiting for my tracksuit in the mail.
I want one, a full paint.
I'm getting one of those, suit. Man. I'm getting one.
Maybe we can get it. We can get it at Flora Fauna, and then we all just rock it.
That would be so good.
I'm gonna show up. Tristan's like, "You guys working here?"
That's so funny.
He's vending right at Flora Fauna?
I actually don't know.
He's not going to be there. He will have a table, but he won't be there. I talked to him already.
Okay.
He has a table. His employee's going to be there because he has another show, another big show. He's going to be able to go to. He's got to go to.
I don't know what I got to pick an item for myself.
I know for you.
Flexi hates Ryobi. Sorry, AJ, go ahead.
I don't know how do you not know this. It's the most ultimate thing in your house that makes everything easy.
But that's not. Are you talking about the misting system?
Yeah.
But that's not like an attainable. I want to get something that is not like go take out a second mortgage buy a misting system that is crazy.
No new beater's gonna put that in.
When I was at your house and I saw that thing like blew my mind. Legit blew my mind.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm very I get excited about things, but like when my mind is blown, it's very rare. And that thing was by far one of the best things anybody could install for having animals that need to be misted daily.
Does that mean you're going to get one next, Brian?
I will definitely get that. I'm 100% going to get that in the future. I'm not going to do it now because I already got mine.
Once you have like
a
new place and everything.
Yeah. Yes, once I've moved and I have a bigger place and more cages, I would definitely do that. 100%.
It's pretty awesome.
The best thing.
And I could add, the cool thing about it is I could add, like right now I'm running 166 cages on it. I think I can run like 1,000 cages and not upgrade the system.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Like I could like almost run 10 times as many cages.
You can have like some horses, some zebras. You can run a zoo.
Yeah.
KMS, it's RO. So I actually have an RO that feeds a pressurized bladder tank. So like a 10-gallon tank that is pressurized, like you'd use for like a house with well water. So it's pressurized at 40 psi. And then that tank pumps up to my pump, which is higher than it. And then it sprays from there. And there's all these different zones. And it's there's a lot. So it's crazy.
It's very intricate.
But yes, RO water, yes.
RO
I
water.
have two recommendations for rooms, and they're underrated. Is what Harry just got, a cart, one of those carts.
I just got a new cart today.
Amazon,
Did
$40.
you?
Yeah, I have the cart I have is amazing, man. You got to have a flat top. That's my thing. I know like for small spaces, it's hard to find a flat, like a totally flat topped one, but like one that doesn't have a lip. Like a lot of the rolling carts have like a lip on them.
Yeah, mine does.
Yes.
I love having that flat top because you can actually like put bigger items like tubs, or like if you're putting like, I don't know. I like having that flat, basically a table on wheels that has two levels, you know. That's my personal preference. But
so yours is pretty big since you have that space to carry one of those rolling carts, right? That's flat.
Yeah, it's probably like
his old cart was big.
It's the size of that. I have two of those now.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So I don't know what the size of that is.
So I pushed my cart around the basement, right? And I'm probably the only one that does this. But as I push it, I go, peanuts, popcorn. I'm just thinking like a
dim sum cart.
Someone send a psychiatrist to
peanuts,
Brian
popcorn,
Hu's house.
Coke, soda, beer. Dim sum cart.
You get the hot guys.
Dumplings.
Oh my God. Dumplings.
Dumplings.
Oh my God.
Sticky rice. And then also I'd like to recommend a fan just to circulate air, because you don't want stagnant air in your room.
Fan is huge. You need a fan.
Fan
is important.
Yeah. Any other items you guys can think of?
I use so much electrical tape and so many Sharpies. Those are the things I use all the time.
White electrical tape. You turned me on to that.
White electrical tape and Sharpies. I have like
to mark your bins.
4 Sharpies. Mark my bins. Mark eggs. Like when eggs are laid.
Your deli cups.
Anytime when people buy stuff, or write their names on it, stick it on it, because you can take it on and off a million times, and it's always sticky. Yeah. And Sharpie, like, just it holds the ink. It doesn't like bleed. They're awesome. So I have, like, no lie, probably 40 Sharpies between my car, this pair of pants, that pair of pants, this cart, that cart. I've got like 10 rolls of white electrical tape all over my house. So, but I'm so ADD, I lose them constantly. So I have to have them everywhere I am so that I don't have to look for them. And I still have to look for them.
I just bought a bunch of glass, those like glass wine markers. So you can,
like chalk markers.
Yeah, chalk markers. So I can
those are great. I like those
the bins.
too.
I can mark all the, I can keep track of the weight, things like that.
I use that for stuff that like needs to be erased often.
Yeah.
It's like I'll use that at shows and stuff too, and I'm pricing animals. I'll write on cups with those.
Yeah,
white electrical tape is great. You turned me on to that.
And it leaves like no residue too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like painter's tape will still, if you stick painter's tape on a cage for say like a month and you peel it off, it'll actually leave residue, which it shouldn't because it's painter's tape, but it does.
Yeah, there you go. Note to self: white electrical tape. Goodbye painter's tape. Yes, correct.
Yep.
And just get a pair of scissors if you want to look clean. You can cut clean lines. Most of the time, I just rip it off with my teeth because I don't care.
I wonder if you can use you could probably use like a tape dispenser for it.
You could.
Right?
You probably could. Yeah. Yeah. White electrical tape. I got that from Gabby. They use electrical tape, and I was like, oh, that's really smart. I was not the person who came up with that.
I was using a label maker prior, and it was a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I've done that before, and you cannot get those things just like
they stick on.
Yeah, especially when you buy the paper tape that comes from those. That's not good.
Well, I also mine are half stuck on because it's got like one of those little
I think it makes sense for that, like something that's gonna be there a long time. But if you ever need to remove something, it's not good to use that stuff. Yeah.
Future of high white tricolor. Want to hit that one?
I think it's still looking up. I think tricolor is probably here to stay, but like everything else,
it's a staple.
The crappy ones will get cheap, and the expensive ones, the nice ones, will stay expensive. I think that's it. Everyone's expectations of what they get for the money will continue to rise because there's a lot of them. So you just have to be making nice ones if you want to be making expensive ones.
Make those paper white tricolors.
Yep. Better orange, stronger orange, better white, head
good
structure.
Contrast. Yeah. Thoughts on cap and sable market? We talked a little bit about this, but officially, cap and sable market going forwards.
I don't know, man. That's another thing where it's a nuanced question, because crappy sables will be cheap, crappy caps will be cheap, and the nice versions of those things will be valuable.
Yeah,
that's
like anything.
Yeah, like I would not encourage people right now to just buy a sable to have a sable. Like if you're compromising quality at this point in the game, I could understand if like 6 months ago you're like, I just need to buy the gene, I just need to like get the gene. That would be one thing. But right now you can be selective. There's like a good amount of animals you can look through and pick one that is good, you know, or buy from a breeder that's breeding quality.
Yeah, the sable gene, it's being a lot more widely available. Pangea just released some. You have some from all over. Austral, you have some from Gabby, you have some from a bunch of people.
Ryan Gecko,
Candice,
yeah. So a lot of people have availability, and people are starting to pick up the sables. So
same with cap though. I mean, there's quality difference. Like even at Tinley, like I won't say who, but like there was caps that were $5,000 and there was caps that were $500.
Yes.
And there was a big difference in quality between those two things. Like, do I think that the $5,000 cap was 10 times nicer than the other cap? No. But to some people that don't want to like work out the kinks of an animal that has maybe some undesirable qualities, maybe that's worth it to them. That's it's interesting.
Yeah. When you guys want to talk a little bit about shipping, there's a couple questions about shipping, how-tos of shipping. We talked about that with Sam Crestopia episode, and how, you know, a couple of things, takeaways were like, don't soak your deli cups. The geckos don't want to swim overnight.
Don't set them up in a freaking swimming pool before you ship them. Don't put them in a kiddie pool.
What are some tips, shipping tips?
My only one I want to give is a lot of people have a misunderstanding of cryo packs. Like I feel like
let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Harry thought they were really cheap and was throwing them all away.
he threw away like $300 worth of cryo packs.
We were telling Harry, I'm like, man, I just got a bunch of cryo packs. These things are so expensive. And he's like, really? I've been throwing them all away.
So at the beginning, I was getting a bunch of animals shipped in, you know, and nice boxes, cryo packs, whatever. And I would just immediately rip the box tops open.
You wouldn't even keep the boxes.
I would take the deli cup, toss those, and then put my gecko in a bin, like a bin or whatever, and toss everything. I was never thinking about those cryo packs.
This isn't Amazon, Harry.
Yeah, I was too excited. And AJ's like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Well, I'm also cheap. So.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're throwing out cryo packs? They're reusable, man.
I know, man.
And they're like $6 a piece.
Save your cryo packs.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding. Like they use as actual like a heat pack or ice pack Like they'd be like, oh, I put the cryo pack in the freezer prior to shipping, so it'd be good. I mean, a cryo pack's purpose is just so that way it regulates the temperature, so the temperatures can't go up too high too fast or too low too fast. It kind of regulates the temperature to kind of like,
it's like interior insulation
to keep it, to keep it steady, so you don't have quick jumps. You don't want like the temperatures going from 70 to 90 in like a matter of minutes, or 70 to 40. So like I'll have people shipping like, oh, it's 40 degrees out, looks like we got good weather, lows, and I'm going to ship the gecko. Don't worry, it'll have a cryo pack in there. I'm like, what? It's 40 degrees. You're going to put a cryo pack in there. The cryo pack, by the time it hits that temperature, is just going to become solid, right? And I feel like maybe like if it's around 40, maybe put a heat pack in there with it. And I was like, you're not going to use a heat pack? They're like, oh, no. But then the next day is going to be 30. So if it gets held the next day.
You can also heat pack between the layers too. I do that a lot. I do that a lot.
That's
a gentle way to do it.
I think that's perfect way. That's a real good way.
Take a 40 hour and slide it in between the styrofoam and the cardboard.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you still get like some heat that is coming up and then over into the box. So the heat pack is in the box, but it's separated from the animal. So you can get more gentle heat, and a lot of it escapes out the sidewall of the box.
Yeah.
Because it's not on the inside of the styrofoam. So you probably lose over half of the heat of that heat pack. But if you just need a gentle heat, like sometimes I'll do that for that scenario that Brian's talking about.
Yeah. I just like cryo packs would work well in warmer temperatures. Like, oh, okay. I feel like no matter what, you should always, I ship everything with cryo pack. Just because you should always, I just use a cryo pack all the time.
Cheap insurance.
I don't use ice packs. I never use the ice pack. I never needed to use the ice pack. I ship heat pack, cryo pack, or just cryo pack.
Yeah.
So I just think when it's on the colder temps, you shouldn't just rely on a cryo pack.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's all I have to say about shipping. Other than that,
cool. Any other shipping tips besides the cryo and heat packs?
Use appropriate sized cups. I see people putting like 60-gram geckos in 4-inch delis, and they can't even fit in. They're like having to drop their tail just to like turn around. I don't know. I think people just get cheap and they're like, I don't want to use a bigger box, so they just ship like the smallest cup possible. Like, please if you're shipping an adult gecko, please just ship it in a 12 by 9 by 6, unless it's like a 30-gram male that's skinny and like you can put it in like a big tall 4-inch cup, maybe. But like I shipped one like that this week that was like right on the edge. We're like, maybe I should size up, but the animal was thin, so I thought it was perfectly fine. But yeah, if when in doubt, just size up. Just explain it to your customer. If it's a difference of $10, $15, just tell them, hey, I'm sizing the box up because it needs a bigger cup and it needs space for the cryo pack and the heat pack or whatever it is. I will say, never. I will go and say this. No one should ever put a heat pack in a 777, like inside the box.
They're gonna melt.
They should never put a heat pack. There's like no air in that box, and that is too much direct heat for a crested gecko. In my opinion, if I'm heat packing, I'm using a 12 by 9 by 6 or a 9 by 9 by 9, or like I'm stepping up the box size 100% of the time. I'm never doing a heat pack on the interior
just too hot.
of the 777. There's just no air in there. I don't like the odds of you killing an animal are just so much higher. So
what about that reel of that person who had that box and the insulation? the insulation didn't even cover the whole box.
What about that
We're not
thing
going to name who it is. We're not going to name who it is.
What about that one where the person said they put like 10 heat packs in it and the animal was liquid?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
10
no.
heat packs in a box. They said the animal was liquefied.
Was it like a
horrible.
snake? Melted the snake?
Yeah,
or something?
it
was a sailfin dragon.
A sailfish,
which is so
dragon.
sad because it's such a beautiful. I mean, they're all
Yeah.
beautiful, but like such a special animal. You know, it's like that's so sad.
Yikes!
Uh,
Oh no!
Liquefied.
Oh no! Some quick ones here. Do you still pair females that have started laying from last year's retained sperm? Or
Yes.
do you wait?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll pair females mid-season when they're still laying fertile eggs.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to run out. Personally.
Yeah. I remember you saying that, AJ, and then I started repairing. Like, it doesn't hurt to repair if you know that's the pair that. Yeah. So just throw them in there for extra good time.
Yeah.
This one's for you guys. How to set up your stall for your first expo. What are some basic things? Banners.
Have a tablecloth.
Don't have. Oh, I guess
bring
it's
extension cords.
Try to have more animals, more than 5 animals.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I think a lot of people are really in a rush to like vend a show. Me personally, if I walk up on an 8-foot table that's got 6 deli cups on it, I don't think it shows very well. Like, I don't know. I personally would say, like, why don't you wait a little bit and like show up with like I like to have a full table, but that's just me.
Maybe you could just sell 6 geckos and a lot of cork bark.
Or maybe 6 geckos and 8,000 3D printed snakes.
Yeah.
Hey, those sell. The kids like those.
Yeah, man. The kids love them.
3D printed. That's where most of these. If you ain't selling animals, you're making money somehow, right?
When we go to a reptile show in 5 years, it's just gonna be 85 people selling 3D printed snakes and freaking leopard geckos.
I have like 5 in my house now.
Oh, that's cool. I actually want one of those.
They're actually pretty. They
are cool. They're cool.
I bring my son, and he gets it. Like last show, my boy,
Gecko boy.
Gecko boy.
He, my buddy DMJ gave him some toys, and man, he loves it, man.
That's cool.
It keeps him occupied during the rest of the show. I can talk and talk to everybody and have no problems, and he'll just sit there with his little toy like this.
Genius marketing, man.
Yeah, because a lot of people who go to reptile shows just go, oh, well, reptile show. There's a lot of people that don't even have reptiles, just go to look, and with their kids, just to show their kids. So
yeah,
they don't something for them.
They want to come to the show, but they don't want to come back with something that requires responsibility. So a lot of those people, that's something you can put in their hands that their kids will like. And I don't bash people doing it. I just think it's funny.
That's what we're gonna do when you vend when you come out to Anaheim.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna bring a freaking trailer load of those things. I just bought 8 more tables. We're gonna stack them floor to ceiling in Anaheim.
We're gonna find random stuff to sell on your table.
What about it? Did I tell you guys the last Tinley show? There was a guy selling tasers.
No.
There was this guy.
I would have bought one.
Classic. I know that the people that run Tinley don't listen to this, so I don't care. I'll say it. But the classic thing is, nobody can get a table. You want to get a table, can't get one. But there's a guy with 5 booths selling tasers and knives. And there's a guy, people selling ranch dressing and stuff. It's like
ranch dressing?
Yeah, there's like people selling like like Scentsy and Tastefully Simple and stuff.
No, what about Hidden Valley Ranch? I thought Allie was gonna be.
Allie's got that market cornered. She's
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Hidden Valley.
Yeah,
geckos,
I like
Hidden
Chad's
Valley
idea.
Ranch.
I think I'm just gonna start selling like it's a garage sale. I'm gonna have like old t-shirts from like my sports teams, and it's just so crazy that like even these shows that are big and like prestigious, they still have somebody with 5 tables selling tasers and like switchblades to kids. It's like, what are we even doing here? It just makes no sense to me.
Funny.
I can't believe somebody's selling tasers. That's crazy.
Dude, I was walking around the show and I just hear, and I'd be looking around me because people buy them and they were like walking around and they're firing them off in the show. It was crazy.
Alexa sell DVDs. That's me and Harry. Me and Harry.
Compact Presarios, right? Is that
compact? Me and Harry gonna be selling bootleg DVDs. DVD.
So don't sell tasers at your first Expo.
That's your first show.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god!
I wonder if you can sell marijuana if the state's legal that has it.
You probably could, man. The only thing I'll get behind, and I sound like a total hypocrite. The only stall that I can get behind at the reptile show is the people that sell all the weird jerkies. People sell like the kangaroo and the
goose jerky.
A goose jerky. I'll take a hard pass on that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
they sell jerky. What reptile shows you go to that sell
Tinley, jerky? Bro?
I've never seen that. I was there in October. I didn't see that.
I'm gonna look for these.
Oh man, when I was at Anaheim or Vegas, there was like a 5-booth stand selling like candied nuts and popcorn and stuff. It was like 5 booths.
Oh my god!
I can't wait, man. Who's gonna be selling that at Flora Fauna?
I think Robbie's got the XXX market corner.
You know what? I should have gotten a table from Gabby and like just be like, hey, listen, I want a table at Flora Fauna, and then just like
load it with tasers.
No, just have my wife make like a whole bunch of egg rolls and just start selling egg rolls.
Bro, just set up a bunch of Panda Express and sell it.
Oh my gosh.
Just selling egg rolls and dumplings, you know? Bro, I think I would make a killing.
Oh
no?
You probably
$10 for 3. $10 for 3 egg rolls. $2 for the dipping sauce.
That would be so funny though if you showed up to a show and then you just set up like the freaking burners and you just like loaded a table full of egg rolls or like
oh my god.
Just any food item would be hilarious. You're selling like Hot Pockets or something.
Hot Pockets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Half the people at these shows are high anyway, so they'd probably buy all those egg rolls.
Yeah. I feel like I would make a killing, bro. I would make a killing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, okay. Any other live questions? Questions that you guys have, topics you guys want to discuss? We went through most of our questions. I think I might have missed.
Yeah, give us a couple last minute ones, then we'll sign off. I think we all need to sleep and relax.
Sleep and relax. We'll sign off.
Yeah, Tinley's got a 5-year wait list, but you can, too bad the guy selling tasers wasn't there last year and this year has 5 tables. So
that's such a weird thing to sell. That's funny.
Tasers.
I took a picture of it. Wait, let me see if I can get it. Harry, if I text it to you, can you put it up?
I think maybe
No, you have to email it, right?
Here, keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, man. Everybody buy food, egg rolls.
Justin said he'd buy some egg rolls.
What do you think the next big thing?
What do you think the next big thing in Kahua/Chihuahua is?
Cooies?
Colors. I think color would be.
Yeah,
high color stuff.
Dude, ET Geckos and Panone Chihuahua Chamber, they both have some really nice high colors. Even Susan.
Darks too.
Okay. The guy's selling stun guns, pocket knives, hunting knives, crossbows, throwing knives, and batons.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that guy's crazy. I think so I know Chihuahua Chamber is working on breeding these dark
I emailed it to you, Harry.
Okay. Okay, I try to pull it up.
And I know also Evan from Noah's Ark Geckos, Noah's Ark of Geckos. He's also got some dark stuff. I think they're trying to prove out to see if it's like a melanistic gene or something like that. Because generally, from what I've learned, that with Kahua is that when they're young, they're dark, but as they get older, they lighten up. So they found they have animals that stay dark throughout their whole adulthood. So I think that's going to be a nice big thing too. That's going to be a big thing, dark stuff.
Yeah, I think the Michael episode. If you guys missed some of that, Michael from Joe Chamber, he was talking about the darks. Yeah, like it's hard to keep the dark stuff, but they're trying to figure it out.
Rainy Day has some really nice Kahuas too.
Yeah,
I've seen her stuff on Morph Market.
I'm gonna
Terry, just show the one image.
I got
Just the one with the sign. Just show that one.
I pulled it up as we were chatting here.
Look at the guy.
I know. And then if you look,
why is this picture there?
He looks just like it, dude. It was so funny.
He looks like a guy that sells stun guns and crossbows and pocket
knives. This was at Tinley. You took this picture.
Oh yeah, the guy. Look at the other. You can see the other picture I sent. It's just like a bunch of out the front switchblades and stuff.
He's from St. Louis,
pull that one up too.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was just that kind of stuff just really grinds my gears because it's just they make it so hard.
Oh my god.
They make it so hard to get tables and then they give this at a reptile show. I just don't understand it.
And this guy's table is popping.
He's got like 5 tables.
So funny,
why is Santa selling stun guns?
I don't know.
And then people buy it. This probably kills it. At
Santa,
the shows,
yeah, it's Santa selling. It's Santa that gives you dangerous toys for Christmas. All right, you can kill the knife.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry to go on my rant, but it bothered me.
I'm gonna buy something from him next time I'm at Tinley.
He's gonna pull him up on Etsy, dude. I'm sure you can buy from him on there.
I need a check-in bag to do it because I'm gonna do carry-on. I won't be able to carry that on.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh!
Good time.
All right, did we get any more questions, or are we done?
We'll begin to land the plane. Let's give it 5 more minutes and then we'll close out. But it's been good.
5 minutes.
It's been fun. These go by quick. I love these. These are all
so quick. That was 2 hours already. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Quick.
I was gonna clean some hatchling cages tonight, but that's not happening.
No.
What time? It's almost 10 o'clock over.
I cleaned my whole adult room today, and it was quite the day. Get him down to a 3-foot table. Yeah, he's gonna walk in and tase the promoters when they try to tell him that.
That's why they do it.
They're like they're all afraid of him now. They've let him in. In 20 years, the show's just gonna be only his booth. Because he's gonna take over every table one taser at a time.
It's not even reptiles anymore. Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's gonna be fun, man. Next almost a month away from Flora Fauna.
That's crazy.
It's close.
What's the best tree to pair to a Pine Island? Another Pine Island.
Another PI.
People don't really like mixed Chihuahua.
Don't do the mainlands.
The Kiwis, people don't like the mixed.
Mainlands.
Keep it pure.
Yeah.
At least with Kiwis. It doesn't really seem like people care as much with lychees. It's more generally accepted, but
One's a reptile, not a pocket knife. You gotta buy some knives along with
that's what I should do. I should buy a second table at Tinley and there's loaded with knives and do buy one get one. You can buy either and get either.
Buy a gecko, get a knife.
Yeah, buy a knife, get a gecko.
You're gonna be selling $500,000 knives. Oh, Kevin made it.
What up?
I'm dude. What up, Brian, AJ, and dude? I'm dude.
I wonder if Kevin.
Harry.
I mentioned you earlier. Kev.
Put your name up, Harry. We can't see it. Where's our name placard?
Oh, here's our name.
Oh, you don't know who I am?
We did it in the beginning. We did.
There we go.
Kevin knows it. Yeah, I tried with Kevin here. Yeah, it's no biggie.
What up? Oh, he didn't know Harry's name. And dude,
What up, Brian? AJ,
Who
are you?
I like Rainy Days thing that they said. Pull that one up, Harry.
Rainy day. Buying a gecko, you have to have the kid.
Hand the kid a knife. Look, you're gonna need this too. Oh my gosh.
That's funny. Any you guys have any closing things you want to discuss in the last couple minutes?
Or else we'll close it out.
Let's talk about the what's my gecko worth drama.
The good stuff.
I think the moral of my takeaway from that whole what's my gecko worth thing, honestly, is like, I don't know. I just feel like if that stuff bothers you, just leave those groups. Because I just think that they'll never change. Like that's just always going to be a place of like, it's always going to have drama. It's always going to have like stuff kind of going wrong in it. Like any of those big gecko groups, I just feel like get really toxic. So if that's something that bothers you easily, just don't participate. Just remove yourself. There's plenty of good community out there. Like if that's something that is hard for you, there's just remove it from your life. Yeah. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'm not in most of those groups just because I don't feel like I need to be in this group.
Think I've joined and left what's my gecko worth 50 times probably.
Who keeps adding you back? Brian?
I don't know.
Not
like,
me.
Like once every like month or two, somebody would be like, "Did you see that thing in the group?" And I'm like, "Crap, I gotta go join it to read it." And then like 2 days later, I start seeing all of the actual like "What's my gecko worth" posts, and I leave again.
Yeah. I just feel like like Facebook groups do more harm than good at this point.
Yeah. Especially when there's so much other good community. And I don't know. I know, Harry, we've talked about it, but like eventually having some platform that we can kind of have like an area that people that watch the podcast and stuff can talk to each other and encourage each other. And
it'll happen. We'll
some kind of a community aspect to this would be
keep it good vibes.
That would be awesome.
Good vibes only.
Like
it's helpful.
Discord or something like that, or
Yeah, we'll find some way to do it.
Stay tuned. We'll pilot some stuff. Yeah.
People like-minded people that are kind of on the same page.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Sounds good, guys. Final closing stuff. I guess the next live won't be till usually we try to do one live a month or so ish, give or take.
Yeah.
A few weeks, and then so the next one will probably be post Flora Fauna. So the next time we see each other,
what about doing one during Flora Fauna?
Okay.
It's possible. AJ, are you going to Flora Fauna?
I have no idea.
So
the news is out, right?
So the cat's out of the bag. All right, the cat's out of the bag. The people that didn't watch the auction, right? So we can announce this, AJ?
Yeah, you're fine.
All right.
AJ, I mean, I can do it. I don't care.
AJ,
what is it? All right, yeah. Let's hear what's the news and why you possibly might not make Flora Fauna.
And my wife is having a baby. I'm not gonna say my wife and I because I have no part in having the baby. I think it's crazy when people do that. My wife's having a baby.
Last year.
Yeah, we paired up last year. I gotta stop. I'm gonna go down a bad rabbit hole on this.
Did you repair mid-season?
I was gonna talk about retaining
every week,
but I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, we're having a baby, and the due date is Flora Fauna. So probably. I know you guys keep saying I'm gonna be there. I don't know about that.
I'm the only reason I'm
That'd
going.
Be great,
you're going,
but
AJ. So
yeah,
you gotta start giving her spicy foods and lots of exercise.
Okay.
Spicy food. Start it now.
Okay.
Yeah, we hope.
So yeah, we'll see. But regardless, even if, as long as I'm not like in the hospital and she's having the baby, I could always, I could probably pop in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We'll see.
I will still have a booth. So I'm sending animals up, and I think a couple different people Yeah, incubate. Lower attempts, you can make it.
Lord.
Yeah, I will send animals up and I'll have help with my booth. So if anybody's interested in some of my like high-end stuff that I've held back for this event, I'll have it there. So Frostline stuff and everything.
Justin knows I got a ton of kids.
Yeah. Harry's got like 10 kids. He's got one of those, he's got one of those transit vans just loaded with seats.
Dude, Lauren and I actually thought about getting one of those because we have
like a sprinter van, one of those sprinter
vans.
Vans.
That's what all like the church homeschool families have. It's so awesome. When you get like 10 kids, that's the only thing you can do at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so against getting a van. I had a Honda Pilot, and then once we had our 4th kid, I was like, we got to do it.
And then you got it, and you're like, this thing's awesome.
It is, man. Minivans are so practical.
Yeah.
Does your minivan have the vacuum in it?
That one doesn't. No, that's the.
Which ones
that's
have that?
Model.
I think like a lot of them now do.
Have
Most
vacuums? That's
yeah,
so
it's a built-in
awesome.
vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah. In the back trunk, there on the side, there's like a vacuum.
That's so cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I want that.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting a minivan though.
You're just driving the Subaru.
Until you have more kids, Brian, on accident.
I'm not having no more kids, man. I'm done.
Oh, you have a vasectomy?
I'm going to. I gotta go to the
next
doctor
week.
Next week.
We're gonna go live from the doctor's office while Brian's getting snipped.
Yep, that's it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, you guys ready to close out? We're at the 2-hour mark.
Scott is saying sorry for outing me. Scott, you're dead to me. Don't worry about it.
Scott outed AJ on the auction.
After that auction, I messaged Scott. I'm like, oh, what did you do, bro? You just blew up his spot. He's like, I feel so bad.
I don't care. I don't care at all. It was not me trying to keep a secret. It was me sucking at letting people into my personal life. So
it's all good, bro.
Well, guys.
All right.
Follow Brian at Who's
Gecko.
Gecko.
With you guys.
Follow AJD Reptiles. You can follow me, Zeros Geckos. Follow at the Gecko Pod. Subscribe and like to our channel.
Gecko Pod.
We're at 660 subscribers from nothing, which is awesome. And so you guys are awesome. Gecko Pod. Brian has a shirt. We'll have some for sale, right, AJ? We'll probably.
We gotta bring some to the show.
Yeah, and then we'll have some at Flora Fauna, and we'll have some available too online. And it's not to make a ton of money. It's not the money maker.
We're gonna make a ton of money here. And you and I are gonna be living the rich life. Look out.
Yes.
At $100 per shirt, maybe we'll break even.
Selling these shirts that we make $3 on, dude. We are gonna be rolling in it.
Yeah.
Ballers.
Yeah. So we'll have some for sale. I know a few people have asked me in DMs, and I'll get back to you guys on that shortly.
Yeah.
We'll have. I'm gonna order some soon, and so we'll have some available. Okay. Cool. Other than that, anything else, Brian, AJ? Anything to sign out? We good?
Nope.
We're good.
Man. Had a good time.
Love you guys.
Great time.
Appreciate you guys. It's always a good time with you all.
Love you too.
We'll have more of these. Thanks for your support. Take care, guys. Good night.
See you guys soon.
Thank you. Bye.
See y'all.